For one night, at least, the Cardinals turn back the clock and snap their losing streak to the Cincinnati Reds. Thank God.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafford, and I'm a national radio sports anchor, born and raised in the Lou, and a lifetime Cardinals fan. And I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. You can find me on Twitter, X at JD Sports Radio. You can follow the podcast at LO1_Cardinals. I do want to thank those of you who make Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast. You can also find us on YouTube if you haven't done that yet. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Interact with us because this is a show for you about your favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals, and hit that notification button so you know when new episodes are posted. This is a show that serves Cardinal Nation. It gives the best fans of baseball all of the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play $5. So I remember growing up, and my parents had this old VHS videotape. It was This Week in Baseball, which was a really cool show back in the old days that I used to watch. And I remember watching this tape over and over and over and over because I could just consumed baseball. It was all I ever wanted to do. And it was about the 1990 season. And you went from the lockout that happened in the spring there. It was like February through March. And then, they didn't miss any games or anything like that. It wasn't nothing like, 1994. But I remember it was like, there was footage of like Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire hanging out at Wrigley Field during the All-Star game, back when both were way skinnier before the roids started. Cecil Fielder erupted for the 51 home runs that year. Reds upset the A's in the World Series. But I remember a specific part about this video, where the White Sox were doing a throwback night at Comiskey Park, and they had the old school uniforms on, and they had cheap concessions where they're talking about, 10-cent popcorn and whatever it was. They had like a guy shouting out the lineups in a megaphone, and it was kind of cool. It had that classic feel going on to it. And that is where my mind went last night when I was watching Wednesday night's Cardinals game. The Cardinals had their own little throwback night of sorts with the stars from Wednesday night's game. It's 37-year-old Lance Lynn, 37-year-old Paul Goldschmidt, 33-year-old Nolan Arenado. These were the keys to victory on Wednesday night in their 2-1 win against the Reds, which, like I said at the beginning, broke their 4-game losing streak against them. And I say thank God, because I'm trying to keep some dignity in my own home, where my wife is a Reds fan, and I brought this up dozens and dozens of times. If you're an everydayer, you've heard me talk about her before, where their goal in life, the Reds, is to beat the Cardinals. It's not about the Cubs or the Brewers or the Pirates. It's about beating the Cardinals. If they do that, they're pretty happy in life. And lately, they've been way too happy because they have just been pummeling our poor Cardinals. Like, they just continue to beat them. And finally, Wednesday night, the streak ended, and a lot of it had to do with the guy who was on the mound in Lance Lynn, who, I've been bullish on him getting innings here at the end of the year. At this point, like, not because I don't like Lance Lynn, it's because what is the purpose at this point of the season? Is he coming back next year? Are you really going to exercise that option? Probably not. I'd be very, very shocked if that happened. So this seems like an opportunity for you to get your eyes on some of the younger guys at the major league level. But I'm going to give the man credit. He came out and absolutely shoved in his first appearance for the team since going on the injured list with the knee inflammation back at the end of July. And, Lynn's attitude and his body language, it's always fun to watch when he's pitching well. You kind of are like, ugh, when he's not doing so well. But when he's doing well and he's into the game and he's feeling it, it's nice. And it was on display again last night, specifically in that third inning after the first two guys got on. They end up being at second and third, nobody out. And Lance Lynn, clutch, comes up and strikes out the next three dudes. And, he gives one of those classic Lance Lynn, let's go, when he walks off the mound, which I'm sorry. If you're a competitor, that gets you pumped up. All right. When your teammates like that, it would work for me. I maybe not everybody, but that was cool, to see him do that. His grabbing his cup and stuff, like some of that is kind of, I'm okay with all of that. Like, it doesn't bother me so much. The spirit, I'll say this about Lynn, the spirit to compete is certainly still there for Lance Lynn. His time with this team is likely over at the end of the season. Again, I'd be surprised if they picked him up, but he sure doesn't act like a guy that's lost that competitive spirit to play and compete. So he ends up firing off 5 innings. He strikes out 7. He allows only 1 run. And the guy's doing it with just fastballs and some curveballs here and there. He got Ellie De La Cruz on the curveballs, but most of the time it's just fastballs. It's just fastballs. That's all he's doing. Nothing fancy. And he gets through people. It's kind of amazing that he does it the way he does at this point of his career. But he does what he was brought here to do last night. He gives the team a chance to win. Job well done, Lance Lynn. Like, there's nothing bad to say about what he did last night. He also hit another milestone, so big congrats on that. Surpassed 2,000 innings pitched in his career. Rob Raines over to STLSportspage.com pointed out that only 6 active pitchers have hit that milestone, so that's a big deal. After the game, Lynn said this to John Denton at MLB.com about the accomplishment. Said, guys around here would tell me that it just means that I'm old. When you're old and you play a long time, you get the luxury of having some fun milestones like that. I've had a few this year, and it's been great to do it in St. Louis where it all started. One of the reasons it was so enticing to come back was to hit those milestones here. So I'm very proud of those and to be able to do them in a Cardinals uniform where it all started, which is great. Cardinal fans, we like that. We appreciate stuff like that. Even if we're not in attendance at the games, we're watching on TV. We're paying attention. And I think Cardinal fans everywhere are kind of like, good for you, Lance Lynn. Good for you. After the game, Ollie said this about Lynn. I love watching him pitch. He's a fiery dude. He yells at everything. Just the way he goes about it ignites a fire in everybody. And fire is something that I've said repeatedly that this team sorely lacks, just in my opinion. It was the reason they signed Lance Lynn. It's the reason why they went and got a guy like Tommy Pham at the trade deadline, hoping to inject a little more spirit, a little more attitude into the team. And unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough this year. Now, as far as the offense goes, it was another dull night overall for the squad, but you had 2 grizzled vets on the corners coming through at the end of the year here, and it was kind of cool to see. We'll talk about it next on Locked On Cardinals. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have got something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of an NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV-based plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. NFL Sunday Ticket will let you watch all of the out-of-market games. So wherever you are, if you're a Chiefs fan, Packers fan like me, you still follow the Rams, you like the Cowboys, you like the Jets, whoever it may be, and if they're not on the national game of the week, this is going to give you a chance to be able to watch every second of that game. It's fantastic. It's been a game changer for me as a fan of the Green Bay Packers, and I think it's going to do the same thing for you. And if you've never had NFL Sunday Ticket before, it's a great opportunity just to kind of test it out for yourself, see if you like it. Again, you can cancel anytime. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members and is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Now, unlike other apps, On PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. Now, all you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and then you watch your winnings roll in. You can sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus because it's guaranteed. Now, one Caleb Williams passing yard is going to get you one win on PrizePicks every week in September. Now, I know he had a tough go in week 1, but he did get 1 yard passing. So you got the W there. That's right. Only 1 yard actually gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W. So don't miss the deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. You can play PrizePicks alongside Drewski, Joe Budden, and MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley. You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the PrizePicks community each and every week. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. Thursday night football tonight. Think about it. Dolphins, Bills. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast hosted by Sully, who is here daily to provide you with the national expertise and his trademark humor. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Remember, you can catch every pitch of the Cardinals hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Cardinals. And thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Leave your comments down below. Always welcome and encouraged. The turn back the clock theme that kind of took place on Wednesday night was also celebrated, not only on the pitcher's mound with Lance Lynn, but also on the offensive side of the ball on Wednesday with Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. Arenado, that tough double play in the first inning, which killed the rally at first and third and 1 out. You're like, all right, here we go. And it didn't work. Ends up smoking a ball into the bushes in center field for his 16th home run of the season to tie the game at 1. It was Arenado's first home run in September. His last stinger was August 30th in the Bronx against the Yankees. And barring some miracle, he's probably going to fall short of 20 home runs for the season, which is mind-blowing that he may not reach that. And that'd be the first time that he hasn't reached 20 home runs in a non-COVID season since 2014 when he hit 18, but he only played in 111 games that year for the Rockies. Now, after that, the home run by Arenado, team really didn't do much of anything. Jordan Walker had an infield hit. That was about it, dude. Left-hander Brandon Williamson and that dirty changeup of his was pretty darn good. Did anyone else feel, though, like when you watched Brandon Williamson on the mound, did it feel like you were watching former Cardinal Mark Mulder? Like just the way his mechanics were and stuff. I'm not talking about the arsenal that he was throwing up there, but just kind of the mechanics of it all reminded me a lot of Mark Mulder, who unfortunately didn't have the career we were hoping he would have when he came over from the A's. Injuries really ruined his career with the Cardinals. But I don't know. It was just something that popped into my head. I was pretty impressed with the guy. The Reds, look out, man. The Reds got a nice group of young pitchers if they can keep them healthy. I mean, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Brandon Williamson, Brett Lauder, who we saw, Andrew Abbott has done some nasty things against the Cardinals. 3 out of 5 of those guys are lefties, which is pretty unique as well. And we know how the Cardinals struggle against left-handed pitchers, at least this year. So keep an eye on that. So the Cards had one hit after the Nato home run until the 8th inning. And in that 8th is when you get the rally. My guy, Michael Ciani, my guy, coming through with the single. He's been taking some heat lately with the lack of production since coming back from the abdominal injury. I know everybody expects him to start, hitting 450 as soon as he comes back from an injury like that. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, it's Michael Ciani. He's an amazing hitter, right? No, he's not. He's like a 250 hitter anyway. But he gets it going. Leadoff single and then uses the speed. He swipes second base. Club leading 17th stolen base this year. I really, really, really hope next year the Cardinals implement the running game even more. I mean, you've got some speed on this team. Walker, Mason Wynn, Ciani, Victor Scott, when he comes back. there's no reason for 17 stolen bases to be the team lead. It should be better than that, in my opinion. Wynn unfortunately strikes out again after Cincinnati gets to second. He strikes out 3 times last night, so the struggle bus continues for Mason Wynn. He's pressing at the plate. He's worn down. This has been a lot of baseball for him. He was trying to, and they pointed it out on the telecast where he was trying to hit it in the opposite field to move Cincinnati to third, and it just didn't work. The idea, good. Following through with it, didn't work out. Alec Burleson, though, he comes up, has a nice battle there, ends up getting plunked on that back left kneecap. Was it it is left. Yeah, left kneecap, which clearly hindered him running the bases and probably cost the Cardinals an insurance run, because Goldie comes up and he's already ripped a double earlier in the game, flew out deep in another at bat, and this time he connects on a ball that, like, I feel like a year or two ago, that's out of the ballpark. That's a home run, but it falls short. And if we're being honest, maybe TJ Friedel should have had that ball. I'm pretty sure Michael Ciani would have caught that one. But it ends up banging off the wall. Friedel doesn't play it well, takes a bad route to the ball, ends up banging off the wall in center. Ciani scores easily. Burley is held at third because he's kind of hobbled because of the knee. So it's an RBI double for Goldie, who he just keeps producing here late in the season, it's nice to see. Nobody's rooting against Paul Goldschmidt. It's just a too little, too late type of scenario. But Burley, they ended up taking him out of the game, and Jose Fermin ended up pinch running last night at the end there. And Ollie used the whole bench last night. Like, he wiped it out trying to pull off this W. He knows, man. He's like, we don't have a lot of time to screw around here if we're ever going to catch up into this thing, which they probably won't. But I think he did a good job last night maneuvering the bench and stuff. I applaud you, Ollie Marmol. Rob Raines points out that this season, Goldie, who hasn't been great with runners in scoring position, the double last night was only his 6th extra base hit. He's got 4 doubles, 2 dingers, and 148 plate appearances with runners in scoring position. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But recently, he has caught fire, as you know, has a hit in 7 of his last 12 at-bats with a runner on second or third. So he's coming up clutch. Again, just too little, too late. The dude has been on quite a tear in recent weeks. He's raised his average. Since August 24th, he's hitting .426. I mean, that's awesome. 10 doubles, 10 ribbies over that 16-game stretch. Like, phenomenal. His season average has jumped from 226 to a more respectable 248. Again, is it enough that you're going to bring Goldie back? Depending on the price tag, does he want to come back with a lesser role and not be the everyday guy? I find it hard to believe that he would accept that, but we'll have to find out. That's something that's way down the road. So, unfortunately, the Cardinals couldn't add on from there. The Reds intentionally walked Arenado. So now you got the bases loaded. You got 1 out, another opportunity to do some damage. Donnie smokes a ball, 102.6 off the bat, right at Jonathan India at second base. Some tough luck. And the Cardinals have seen this happen a few times recently, where they smash a ball, just a rocket. So JC has had a couple of those and it's just right at somebody. Just like perfect placement. So 2 out. Jordan Walker misses a first pitch fastball. I don't blame him for swinging at that. That was right over the heart of the plate. He missed it. Flies out. Ends the rally. With the bases loaded this year. All right, get your puke bags ready. With the bases loaded this year, the Cardinals they're dead last in the league and are now hitting an astonishing 158 in those situations. Blech. Like, how nasty is that? 158 with the bases loaded this year. It's unbelievable. And it's so bad. Like, it is way down there. They're 23 points lower in batting average with the bases loaded than the next worst team, which is the Washington Nationals. 23 points. Like, it's not like 1 or 2. Like, they're so much worse than everybody else in the league. It's incredible. Ryan Helsley comes on in the 9th inning. He does what he does, man. As stressful as some of the games have been this year, he gets the job done. Made quick work of the Reds last night. He's awesome. 44 saves, tied for the league lead with Emmanuel Clase of the Guardians. Now 7-4 with a 2.19 ERA. ERA plus of 194. Second best of his career. He's having one of the greatest relief pitching seasons in Cardinals history. And it's for a team that's just meh, which is makes it even that much more impressive. The dude is legit one of the best in the business. So Thomas Sajaci, again, still looking for his first major league hit, although he has ripped a few that have just, again, have been right at people. Had 2 stellar defensive plays. I wanted to point that out where, you saw him play short in his first game. He was at second base last night, and he looks awfully comfortable on the infield, looks awfully comfortable there. He is back in the lineup again on Thursday in the rubber match. So we're going to update the standings and discuss my opinion of the state of the team coming up next on Locked On Cardinals. Life gets busy, and even the most dedicated gym goers struggle with consistency. The commute to get there, dealing with traffic, finding parking, waiting for weights, cleaning the machines, although some people just don't do that, which grosses me out. It makes skipping a workout pretty darn tempting. And with Tonal, you can choose from thousands of workouts and train in a way that you actually enjoy, and you get to do it from your very own home. Tonal is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps you get stronger. It's powered by AI. Tonal learns with every rep, so it can deliver workouts that are personalized just for you. It's all catered to what you like to do, how you like to do it, what kind of weight you want to use. It's like having your own personal trainer at home with you, as Tonal optimizes every single workout just for you. It's all about you. It's not you doing what they want. It's what you want to do. It's on you. And then they'll fix it all around you to make it personalized so that you have the best experience possible. Unlike traditional gym equipment, they use adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. And again, it fits your schedule. You shave off the time that you're wasting by traveling to the gym and get right into your workout whenever you're ready. As soon as you're ready to go, boom, Tonal's sitting there waiting on you. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, TONAL.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen today. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description. That way you don't have to go searching for it. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The Cardinals are still 6.5 back of the wild card. 17 games remaining. That window is closing very, very quickly. I saw where Jeff Jones had the elimination number down to, I think, 10 for the Cardinals. At the beginning of the season, I predicted 84 wins at the beginning of the year. I still believe that is doable, but they'd have to go 11-6 to do it. And what are the odds that the Cardinals reel off that kind of winning percentage over the last 17 games? Probably not good. The more likely scenario is that they land exactly at 81-81. As mid as you can possibly be, because that's what this team has been most of the season. You've seen bright spots here and there, but it's always, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward. Like, it's just this do-si-do all year, and that's just not progress. It's basically running in place is what they've done all year. So how the team tackles what this offseason is going to be, certainly going to be interesting. Going to be interesting because, can you handle, and this is for the front office. This is not what I'm asking the fans. The front office. Can the front office handle the growing pains of rolling with a more youth-style movement? Like, this is not going to be, we're going to blow it up and let every kid play. That's not how it's going to be. You're still going to have Arenado on this roster. Wilson Contreras will be back. Goldie could be back. Your pitching staff is certainly not a youth movement by any means. Not a bunch of kids. You're going to have Sonny Gray, today's starter, Eric Fetty, Steven Matz, Miles Michaelis. All of those guys are expected to be back. Donovan Newbar, those guys aren't kids anymore. So this is not an overhaul, huge rebuild. But Mo is always the one harping patience, right? Well, do they have the patience to watch younger players like Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, Victor Scott, Ivan Herrera, Lucan Baker, Thomas Ajacey, and other guys that they're going to call up at some point for next year? Can they be patient on them without banishing them to the minor leagues after 2 weeks of not doing so well? Will they be like, oh, well, no, we got to get me somebody who's 36 and can do this? I mean, or are they going to let these guys figure it out? They got to change something, because the ballpark, I mean, it's an absolute graveyard right now. Concession stands are closed. Businesses are suffering. This product is just not being supported anymore. And again, listening to the Reds telecast talk about it, they're like the self-proclaimed best fans in baseball. You've got a 500 team here, and they're not here supporting them. The fans are getting called out. Fans are calling ownership out. Something's gotta be done here, man. This is bad. Like, we know opening day is going to be packed regardless. All right. Almost every city is. Certain giveaway nights will always be packed and do well. The bobbleheads, like this one, like the Jordan Skywalker one. Like, obviously, nights like that are going to be huge. People are going to love it, and they're still going to come out. But how do you get the trust and support back fully from the fan base is another issue. Does it need front office change? Is it all about personnel? Like, would you be able to handle Mo for another year of his contract and charge of stuff if he brings in some more high priced talent? But if he brings back, mid guys, are you just going to stay away? These are the decisions they're going to have to make. What if they go to, Chaim Bloom and he doesn't do much that's all that different from what Mo was doing? Like, is that going to help anybody want to come back to the ballpark? So it's going to be an interesting off season. Definitely. But I will say this. I'm enjoying seeing some of the younger guys get more at bats and more time on the field. And, it seems to have invigorated some of the Cardinal veterans, specifically Paul Goldschmidt. Looks like a brand new guy. So it's been fun. Afternoon game today, Sonny Gray on the mound. Awesome at home normally against Jacob Junis for the Reds. Where do they get these guys sometimes? I want to wear my ugly loud shirt. I don't want to take any more heat from my wife. Let's get a W today. What do you guys say? Let's get a dub. Let's get a dub and win a series. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, do me a solid. Give me a follow on Twitter, X at LO_Cardinals, and at JD Sports Radio. Like, subscribe on YouTube. It really helps our channel and love for the Cardinals grow. You guys are the best fans in baseball for a reason, despite what other telecasts may say. Thank you for watching Locked On Cardinals. We'll see you next time.